KSMO Salem.
Good afternoon and welcome to KSMO Radio. Let's take a look at your noon hour weather forecast. It'll continue to be sunny with a high temperature reaching near 66 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at 5 to 9 miles per hour. Skies should be clear tonight with a low around 44 degrees. Southerly winds continue tonight 3 to 6 miles per hour. Then tomorrow we have a slight chance of showers, then chance of showers and thunderstorms after 4 in the afternoon. Chance of precipitation is 30%, with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature near 75 degrees. Southwesterly winds will be 7 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, showers are likely and possible a thunderstorm before 10 p.m., then showers likely between 10 and 1. Chance of precipitation tomorrow night is 70% with new rainfall amounts between a tenth and a quarter of an inch in the forecast, except higher amounts are possible if you happen to be in a thunderstorm. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with a low around 50 degrees and westerly winds will be around 6 miles per hour, becoming calm during tomorrow evening. Our weekend's going to start out on Saturday with sunny skies and a high temperature near 79 degrees. Winds will be southwesterly 3 to 6 miles per hour. Then Saturday night, we have a 40% chance of showers after midnight with partly cloudy skies, a low temperature around 54 degrees. Sunday, we'll have a 30% chance of showers before 1 in the afternoon with partly sunny skies and a high temperature near 68 degrees. Sunday night should be mostly clear with low around 42. Then Monday, that new work week will start out under sunny skies with a high temperature near 73 degrees. We'll have clear skies Monday night, low around 50. Then Tuesday should be sunny with our high temperature reaching near 80 degrees. Mostly clear skies are forecasted for Tuesday night with a low around 56, and Wednesday should be mostly sunny with a high temperature near 80 degrees. And that's your noon hour weather update brought to you by all of us here at KSMO, where it's now time for the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report.
There has never been more information available to farmers, yet it has never been harder to know who or what to trust. Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and this is my 2 cents. Every day brings a flood of market analysis, social media opinions, and sponsored content. Everyone has insight. Everyone has something to say. And everyone claims to have the right answer. But when decisions carry real financial risk, more information isn't what farmers need most. Trust is. In agriculture, choices are not theoretical. They affect livelihoods, land passed down through generations, and the long-term viability of an operation. One misstep in inputs, marketing, or timing can have lasting consequences. That's why despite an explosion of platforms and voices, farmers continue to rely on sources that have proven themselves over time. Trust is not built overnight. It comes from consistency, credibility, and authenticity. It's showing up day after day with relevant, reliable information. It's understanding local conditions and recognizing that what works in one region may not work in another. And it's being honest about challenges, even when the story is difficult. Farmers value sources that understand them, not just speak to them. The filter remains the same. Is it trustworthy? Information is everywhere. Trust is what guides decisions, and it remains the most valuable currency in agriculture. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield. That's my 2 cents.
Plan on flying? It's time to upgrade to a Real ID. Because in order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a Real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your Real ID at tsa.gov/RealID. That's tsa.gov/RealID. Or visit your local DMV. And then you'll be cleared for takeoff.
I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. I slept in a lot of different rooms, but none of them really felt like mine.
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a permanent home.
Now I have my own room, a place that's mine, and a family who loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
The foundation is set.
Missouri knocks off the #1 team in the nation.
The frame is built.
On the run, Mitchell for the flush, Missouri by 20.
And the gates,
the habits, the response to detail, the execution, all that stuff matters.
Are open.
Drives right baseline to the rim, jams it as he hangs and got fouled.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
Cruz, here comes the three. Bang! He splashed it home.
The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
An active start for direct cash cattle business, and cash hogs are slow. Hello, I'm Megan Grebner with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. There is a solid round of direct cash cattle trade being reported. Live deals in the South are at mostly $256 to $257, and a few at $258. It's generally $2 to $3 higher than the previous week's weighted averages. Dress business in the North is marked at $402, $2 to $3 higher than the prior week's weighted average basis. Box beef was sharply lower at midday with light demand for solid offerings. Choice down $2.04 at $387.58. Select was $4.55 lower at $385.08. At the Bassett Livestock Auction in Nebraska, most weights of steers sold $4 to $9 higher, with 6 and 9 weight steers $14 higher. Feeder heifers weighing less than 650 pounds were $4 to $8 higher, and 7 weights were $1 higher. The USDA says demand was good with instances of very good. Offerings were mostly weaned and balling fall calves with a few yearlings. Medium and large one feeder steers, 574 to 598 pounds, brought $491.50 to $525. Feeder steer, 609 to 632 pounds, brought $467.50 to $490. Medium and large one feeder heifer, 665 to 691 pounds, brought $382.50 to $405. Cash hog prices at the major directs were not reported at midday due to confidentiality. There were just a handful of negotiated purchases. Processors have been able to control the pace of business and are moving needed numbers at relatively lower prices. Demand remains crucial to the market, but export sales for this past week were down significantly from the previous weeks. Now, there are still some bright spots when it comes to global demand for U.S. pork. Mexico remains a solid customer, but there are lingering concerns about long-term strength. Domestic demand could see a boost as pork remains a competitively priced protein in the retail space heading into summer grilling season. The 5-day rolling average for barrows and gilts at the National Daily Direct is $94.82. Butcher hog prices at the Midwest cash markets are $2 higher at $66. At Illinois, slaughter sows were steady with moderate demand for light to moderate offerings at $45 to $57. And pork values were higher at midday, up $1.35 at $96.45. Picnics and butts were both sharply higher. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
Do you have a black vulture issue on your farm? Apply for a depredation permit through the Missouri Farm Bureau today. It's free, quick, and easy. Simply call Missouri Farm Bureau at 573-893-1417 or send an email to blackvultures@mofb.org. That's blackvultures@mofb.org. Farm Bureau will send you a permit application to fill in and sign, and you'll be able to reduce black vulture threats in no time. For more information, visit agriculture.mo.gov.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
That has been the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report. It is now time for a look at updated funeral announcements, and it's being brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County for over 34 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker. And be sure and check out Your World Today online at our website, KSMOradio.com. Your World Today. Be sure and pick one up every weekday or check it out online. Shelby, Raquel, Mickno passed away Thursday, April 30th, at the age of 28 years. Funeral services for Shelby Mickno will be Friday morning at 11 at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Shelby Mickno will be this evening from 5 to 7 p.m. Burial will be in the Mount Hermon Cemetery. In lieu of flowers, memorials may be made to Wilson Mortuary to help with final expenses. Envelopes are available, and all arrangements for Shelby, Raquel Mickno of Salem are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Cynthia Jane McMillan Chilton, age 50 of Salem, passed away Monday, May 4th. Funeral services for Cynthia Chilton will be Saturday at 12 noon at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Cynthia Chilton will also be on Saturday starting at 10 in the morning and continuing till service time at 12 noon. Memorial contributions may be made to Wilson Mortuary to help with final expenses. Memorial envelopes will be available, and all arrangements for Cynthia Jane McMillan Chilton of Salem are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Alice Pearl Stark of Salem passed away Wednesday, May 6th at the age of 89 years. Funeral services for Alice Stark will be Tuesday, May 12th at 12 noon at the Salem Chapel of James Gar Mortuary. Visitation for family and friends of Alice Stark will be held at the chapel prior to the service from 11 until service time at 12 noon. Entry will be at the North Lawn Cemetery in Salem. And all arrangements for Alice Pearl Stark of Salem are under the direction of the James Gar Mortuary of Salem. That has been a look at updated funeral announcements brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Your World Today is the only daily news flyer in Dent County. It is available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker. And be sure and check out Your World Today online at our website, KSMOradio.com. Your World Today has been serving Dent County for over 34 years, and the best part about it is absolutely free.
This is St. Louis Blues analyst Joey Vitale. There is nothing more exhilarating than watching St. Louis Blues hockey in person. But if you can't make it to the game, you can catch all the action here on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO Radio in Salem, Missouri. Your radio home for St. Louis Blues hockey.
It is now time for a look at local news, and it's being brought to you by Southwest Baptist University's Salem campus. SBU Salem campus provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding area. For more on degrees and programs, stop by SBU Salem campus today at 501 South Grand Street, or you can call them at 573-729-7071. I'm Bob Parsons reporting. The Salem R80 Board of Education has called for a special meeting this afternoon at 5 o'clock in the R80 boardroom. After the call to order, Pledge of Allegiance, and approval of the agenda, the board is to approve Communication Development, LLC, for ECSE Speech Services, Building Independence Therapy, LLC, for Occupational Therapy Services, and changing the Board of Education meeting date from May 21st. The board will move into executive session to address student issues and attendance appeals, plus personnel issues. After completing the executive session business, the board will return to open session to adjourned. Chairman of the Utility Committee, Alderman Nathan Kinsey, has called for a Utility Committee meeting to be held tonight at 6:15 at the City of Salem Auditorium. The committee will hear reports from the chairman, review a draft budget with capital improvements projects being noted, discuss water tower maintenance contracts, testing of meters through a contract service with Advanced Meter Services, LLC, replenishing the reserve fund, as well as discuss rates for water and wastewater. Also at the meeting, the committee will discuss 2 code amendments dealing with backflow prevention device installation and inspections, as well as the royalty and marketing agreement with the Service Line Warranty Program. In reports, the committee will review financial updates in the budget and the impact on each fund from the rate discussion, as well as discuss billing updates. The committee will review the MMMPEP and MPUA meeting notes and get work reports from utility crews. They'll also hear information about and discuss the current utilities construction in progress as well as planned capital improvements before the meeting is adjourned. The meeting of the Utility Committee tonight is open to the public. The Bunker High School participated in the Southeast Missouri State University Math Contest. This year, 24 schools and over 500 of their best math students from both Missouri and Illinois attended. Bunker students took first place in all 3 team events in which they competed. Those teams were for Algebra 1, which included students Owen Gant, Jocelyn Goodwin, Cooper Hodge, and Travin Ritter. Algebra 2, which included students Wyatt Amsden, Kara Barton, Philip Bodie, and Josie Bryant, and Geometry, which included students Sophie Bodie, Sadie Elam, Zoe Elam, and Cameron Gordon. Individual winners for the contest included Cooper Hodge, who took second for Algebra 1, Owen Gant, who took third place for Algebra 1, and Wyatt Amsden, who took third place for Algebra 2, plus Sophie Bodie, who took second place for Geometry. Due to weather, the starting date for the project to replace the driving surface of the Little Piney Creek Bridge on Route 63 at Yancey Mills has been postponed. Originally scheduled to begin this past Tuesday, contractors working with the Missouri Department of Transportation now plan to narrow Route 63 to one lane at the bridge today in order to leave one lane open during construction. Temporary traffic signals will be in place to direct vehicles safely through the work zone. All work is weather permitting and schedules are subject to change. Representative John Hukin of the 120th District shared a few legislative updates out of the House of Representatives of Jefferson City in his latest Capitol Report from May 4th. If interested in reading more about legislation reported by Hukin, visit house.mo.gov and search any bill mentioned in the upper right corner of the website. There you may see the progress, sponsors, and summaries of each bill along with other information. Within Hukin's report, he specified the following bills were on the way to Governor Mike Kehoe for signature. HB 2366, which modifies provisions relating to employment of unauthorized workers. HB 2593, which modifies various provisions relating to military affairs. And HB 2637, which modifies and establishes provisions relating to public safety. In addition, Hukin shared that the General Assembly has approved legislation to increase fairness and accountability in high school athletics by establishing an interscholastic athletic oversight commission, a board of directors appointed by the governor to hear appeals of certain decisions made by statewide activities associations. Beginning in the 2027-28 school year, decisions involving student eligibility and contest procedures may be appealed to the newly established Interscholastic Athletic Oversight Commission after all existing options have been exhausted. In closing, with only 2 weeks left in this year's session, Hukin shared he expects more bills to move forward soon. The Missouri State Highway Patrol will be holding its 2026 Youth Academy program in Piedmont at 1 Eagle Sky Drive from August 3rd through August 7th with a deadline to apply of June 19th. There's no cost to attend the program. Interested cadets should be interested in a career in law enforcement and must be high school students or recent graduates between the ages of 16 to 18. Cadets must be in good physical condition, capable of enduring aerobic and endurance activities requiring a reasonable fitness level. Cadets must reside at the camp facility for the duration of the program. For more information or to receive an application, contact Corporal Logan Bolton at 314-348-4428 or email logan.bolton@mshp.dps.mo.gov. Dent County Health Center has released that it received 2 awards from the opioid settlement funds this year. One of those awards focused on establishing 3 24/7 community overdose response boxes in high-visibility accessible locations. The boxes will provide free, anonymous access to naloxone, overdose responses instructions, and harm reduction supplies, with the goal of preventing opioid-related overdose deaths and increasing community readiness to respond to overdose emergencies. The Overdose Response Strategy Team of the Department of Health and Senior Services shared that a total number of 34 fatal drug overdoses occurred between the 5-year period of 2020 and 2024. The 15 to 34 age group made up 21% of the fatal drug overdoses over the 5-year period, while the 35 to 50-year-old period group made up 50%. The 55-plus age group made up 26%. The less than 15 age group made up about 3%. The report shows that Denton County continues to experience the impacts of opioid epidemic. Signs and symptoms of an opioid overdose include small, constricted, pinpoint pupils, falling asleep or loss of consciousness, slow, shallow breathing, choking or gurgling sounds, limp body, discolored skin, especially in lips and nails. Narcan, also referred to as naloxone, is a proven life-saving intervention. It works to block the effects from opioids like fentanyl, heroin, and prescription painkillers. By reducing barriers and increasing community readiness, the 24/7 naloxone boxes strengthen community safety and will help prevent opioid-related overdose deaths. Boxes were made on April 17th and delivered by April 22nd. The boxes feature instructions on how to respond to an opioid overdose emergency and a QR code to show how to use naloxone. To date, the health center has provided 2 of the 3 boxes at the Salem Community Center at the Armory and the Salem Public Library. Free trout fishing, seeing live birds of prey, and free hot dogs should be enough to make any kid's day. That's just part of what makes Kids Fishing Day at Merrimack Spring Park a great outing for young anglers. This event will be Saturday, May 16th, and hosted by the Missouri Department of Conservation in cooperation with the James Foundation for children 15 years of age and younger. The Kids Fishing Day event will be held from 6:30 in the morning to 8:15 in the evening. The entire upper half of the spring branch will be reserved for kids 15 years of age and younger. Free daily fishing tags for children will be available to pick up Friday, May 15th at the James Foundation store, and on Saturday, May 16th at the Mill Pavilion by the Big Tent. Any car that has a child 15 and under gets into the park for free as well. A limited number of loaner fishing poles will be available, but children are encouraged to bring their own fishing poles and equipment. The World Bird Sanctuary will be on hand, featuring live birds of prey to meet and greet. Everyone can enjoy free hot dogs and soda along with attractions like archery. There will even be a drawing for big prizes like a 30-inch brown trout carving made by Dwayne Doty of Ozark Trout Runners and painted by Mario Lazina of LOZ Lures, plus free guided fishing trips. Merrimack Spring Park, owned and operated by the James Foundation, is located on Highway 8 about 6 miles east of St. James. Montauk was formally established as a state park in 1926, 100 years ago. To celebrate Montauk's 100th birthday, the park will be hosting several special events throughout the 2026 season. The celebration will begin with Old Mill Days Friday, that's tomorrow, and then on Saturday from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon both days. This annual event features guided and self-guided history tours as well as games and other activities. Presenters will demonstrate historical skills such as blacksmithing, archery, Dutch oven cooking, weaving, rope making, wood carving, beekeeping, and more. There'll also be an arts and crafts fair showcasing the finest products that local artisans have to offer, including homemade pottery, jewelry, and clothing. All activities will take place around the old Montauk Mill. Admission is free and open to the public, and there's no need to register. Stop by to learn a new skill, immerse yourself in local history, and support small businesses. For more information, call the park office at 573-548-2201 or visit the Montauk State Park Facebook page at facebook.com/Montauk State Park Official. And that's been a look at local news, and it was brought to you by SBU Salem Campus at 501 South Grand Street, where they offer degrees in nursing, which is an RN Bridge program, criminal justice, and elementary education. For more about SBU Salem Campus, contact them at 573-729-7071.
Southwest Baptist University's Salem Campus, has degree plans that are affordable and designed to fit your busy lifestyle. SBU is now offering degrees in emergency medical technology, health sciences, and many more. SBU Salem campus is a Christ-centered, caring academic community preparing students to be servant leaders in a global society. Contact us at 573-729-7071 to change your future today.
Do you know who some of the most avid readers of Cardinals Magazine are? It's Cardinal alumni. Our former players tell me time and again that Cardinals Magazine is one of their favorite ways to stay connected to the birds on the bat.
And you know, Ricky, I've heard the same thing. They feel like they're still coming to the ballpark each day when they're enjoying the impressive lineup of feature stories in every issue of Cardinals Magazine.
Cardinals Magazine helps you really get to know the current players, not only their stories in uniform, but who they are off the field and how they got to where they are.
And it doesn't stop with the stories on current players. No one does a better job giving fans a truer picture of everything happening on the field, inside the ballpark, and all over Cardinals Nation. Even stories on our Cardinals alumni.
Join our former players who enjoy the classic coverage of Cardinals Magazine. Subscribe for yourself and your favorite fan at cardinals.com/magazine or 314-345-9000.
Cardinals Magazine. It's all here.
It is now time for a look at local and regional sports. It's being brought to you as a courtesy of your Ozark sports leader, KSMO. The Logan Rogersville Tennis Wildcats defeated the Salem Tennis Tigers in Class 1 District 5 team play Wednesday 5-0 to end the year for the Tigers, who finished the year with a 13-5 record. Ryan Hallinar pitched 5 innings, giving up 5 hits and 2 runs for the win, and Brent Hallinar got the save, giving up a hit in his 2 innings of work to lead the Salem Tigers to a 4-2 victory over Cuba on Wednesday. Kane Baird and Hayden Ragsdale each had 2 hits for Salem, while Wayne Skidmore drove in 2 runs to lead the offense. Salem improves to 6-13 on the season. The Tigers will be back at it today as they take on the Willow Springs Bears at 4:30 at the Salem High School Baseball Field Complex. This game will not be carried on KSMO Media due to the coverage of the Lady Tiger District game in Potosi. The second-seeded Salem Lady Softball Tigers will face Kingston in Potosi at 4:30 in Class 2 District 3 tournament play in the third of their 4 games today. The game will be carried on KSMO Radio, AM 1340 and 95.7 FM, and audio streamed on KSMO Media, KSMORadio.com, the KSMO Stream Facebook page, and the KSMO YouTube page. Starting with Tiger Talk and Coach Jim Moore about 15 minutes before the start of the game. The game will also be carried on Misha.tv for a fee. The winner of the Salem-Kingston game will play Monday afternoon at 5:30 in Potosi against the winner of the Bourbon Lady Warhawks and Grandview Lady Eagles match. It took nearly 8 innings for the St. Louis Cardinals to get on the board yesterday in their game against the Milwaukee Brewers. Alec Burleson batted in a run while Nolan Gorman scored on a Brewers fielding error, but it was all too little, too late, as Milwaukee took the game 6-2. The Cardinals on the road today to play a late game out in San Diego against the Padres. You can listen to the game on KSMO Radio with live coverage set to begin at 8:15 tonight. And that's been a look at local and regional sports brought to you as a courtesy of KSMO. Stay tuned for a look at sports from the Missouri Net.
This Missouri Net Sports Report is brought to you by the Missouri Association of Natural Gas Operators. If you smell gas or hear a hissing sound, even if you're outside, go upwind and from a safe place, call 911.
Missouri Net Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. The Royals are wrapping up their series with the Guardians this afternoon after a 3-1 loss, snapped their 5-game losing streak, but they'll keep an eye on ace Cole Reagans, who was pulled after 3 innings because of some soreness. His triceps, elbow area. Manager Matt Quattrero.
You saw really, really good stuff. I mean, and goes out there and puts up 3 zeros. Threw some good breaking balls today as well, the slider in particular. But the first inning was tough work, but after that, he was settling in.
The 28-year-old has undergone 2 Tommy John surgeries, and he missed some time last year with a shoulder strain. The Cardinals, who dropped a 6-2 game against Milwaukee, are on the road starting a 4-game series in San Diego tonight. They're 21-15. Ollie Marmol, happy with what he has seen so far.
I like the pressure that we continue to put on teams offensively, taking tough at-bats and finding ways to get on base. So I really like where that's at. It was
D1 tournament softball at the Ohio Valley Tournament in Peoria, Illinois. The SEMO Redhawks beat Western Illinois 10-2. In that first game, Gracie Luna, a junior who's from Peoria, had 2 hits and drove in 3 runs. And then SEMO beat Lindenwood later in the evening 5-2. And again, it was Luna in her hometown hitting a leadoff double to spark a 4-run second inning. SEMO plays top-seeded Eastern Illinois. They'll get underway in a few minutes. Lindenwood plays later in this double elimination tournament. St. Louis is hosting the A10 tournament, and the Billikens are the 2 seed. They play Loyola at 2:30. And Kansas City lost in the bottom of the 7th, 5-4 to South Dakota yesterday in the play-in game at the Summit League tournament in Minneapolis. Bill Pollock, Missouri Net Sports.
When faced with complex challenges, there are people who come together to use their skills and connections to solve problems and transform lives. That's us. We are Rotary, a global network of people taking action to make the world a better place. We work with community partners to build green spaces for all to enjoy and to connect with nature and each other. We support local youth through mentorship and literacy programs, developing life skills that lead to academic success and personal growth. We're committed to causes that improve lives everywhere, building peace and economic opportunity, providing access to healthcare and clean water, and ending polio forever. We are people of action. Find your cause and take action with us. Learn more at rotary.org/action.
Tell your friends about us.
The best radio station I ever heard in my entire life.
KSMO.
It is now time for news from the Missouri Net. Then stay tuned. I'll be back in about 5 minutes with your latest KSMO weather forecast.
With News on Missouri Net, I'm Marshall Griffin. The Missouri legislature has passed a more than $50 billion state budget proposal 2 days ahead of schedule. It now goes to Governor Kehoe. The Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission has selected a contractor to expand truck parking along I-70 at Odessa, Concordia, Boonville, Mineola, and Wright City. Project Director Zachary Osmond says truck parking is crucial to public safety.
So when the rest areas are full and they must stop, their favorite place to stop is on interchange ramps and on shoulders.
And Boone Health is opening a new cardiology clinic. Matt Pilger reports.
The hospital decided to create its own in-house cardiology practice after Missouri Heart Center ended its partnership with Boone Health. Hospital leaders say the move is focused on protecting access to care for thousands of patients. Boone Health says familiar doctors and newly hired cardiologists are now in place to provide services at clinics in Columbia, Mexico, Macon, and Moberly.
This is Missouri Now.
You smell that? Spring. Hibernation's over. It's time to run it. Run it until the grass becomes long and the hedges duck and cover. Then, run it again. Still, get up to $50 off select AK battery tool sets. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
If you spend time outdoors, there's something you need to know. A bite from the Lone Star tick can cause alpha-gal syndrome, an allergy to red meat and other animal products. Symptoms often appear hours later and may include hives, stomach pain, or even severe reactions. There's no cure, but you can reduce your risk. Use tick repellent, wear protective clothing, and check for ticks after being outside. Learn more about prevention and living with alpha-gal by visiting your local MU Extension office.
Good afternoon and welcome to KSMO Radio. Let's take a look at that latest KSMO weather forecast. Will continue to be sunny today with a high temperature near 66 degrees. Winds will be southwesterly 5 to 9 miles per hour. Tonight we'll have clear skies, low around 44. Southerly winds tonight will be 3 to 6 miles per hour. Tomorrow we do have a slight chance of showers, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 4 tomorrow afternoon. That chance of precipitation for tomorrow is 30% with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature near 75 degrees. Southwesterly winds will be 7 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, showers are likely and possibly a thunderstorm before 10 p.m., then showers likely between 10 and 1. Chance of precipitation tomorrow night is 70% with new rainfall amounts between a tenth and a quarter of an inch being in the forecast, except higher amounts are possible if you happen to be in a thunderstorm. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with low around 50 degrees and westerly winds will be around 6 miles per hour, becoming calm during tomorrow evening. Saturday should be sunny with a high near 79. We'll have southwesterly winds 3 to 6 miles per hour. Then Saturday night, we have a 4 in 10 chance of showers after midnight with partly cloudy skies, low around 54 degrees. Then Sunday, a 30% chance of showers before 1 in the afternoon with partly sunny skies and a high near 68 degrees. Sunday night will be mostly clear with a low around 42. Then Monday should be sunny with a high temperature near 73 degrees. Monday night, skies will be clear with a low around 50. Then we'll have sunny skies on Tuesday with a high near 80 degrees. Tuesday night will be mostly clear with a low around 56. And Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high temperature again near 80 degrees.
KSMO Salem